Starting streaming. Should be live on YouTube first, and we're going to be live on Facebook in a second. Going live. All right, I see that we are live on Facebook as well. Please, anybody, if it's that you're seeing this, please comment so that we can confirm that we are live. I'm gonna pause this. All right, perfect. So let me just go over what we're doing today. This is great. All right, so today we're going to be talking about the latest news on religion, atheism, secularism. I have Allie here with me. Hi, Allie.
Hi.
Hi. Allie is going to be keeping an eye on the live chat. Because you're doing it from somewhere else today, you're going to be focusing on the Facebook chat, right? Live chat.
Yes.
I'm gonna try to keep an eye. I'm gonna try to do two things at the same time. I'm gonna try to keep an eye on the YouTube live chat. Let me just see if we're getting any comments. Guys, if you guys could comment just so that we see that everything is working. Is this Yeah, this is public and everything. Let me just make sure. Oh, did I do something wrong or not? Last time we didn't. Yes, this is fine. Yeah. Anybody seeing us, please let us know. Let me check. This is right. Okay, so I see. Yeah, so I see Facebook. There are people there. There's one reaction to it. Facebook live chat. I see some people reacting, but I just want to make 100% sure. So, guys, if anybody's seeing this, please leave a comment on YouTube just so that we can see that this is working. Let me actually just see. Is it working or not?
Oh. Yeah, it looks good on my end.
What about YouTube? Can you double check YouTube?
Yeah, I'll double check really quick.
Thank you. Today the news is actually a bit crazy. Actually, it's crazy every day. Also, let me see here. All right. Ali, if anybody uses the super chat, just a reminder. Actually, I'm keeping an eye on the YouTube one, so I'll keep an eye on that. If by the way, guys, if you like what we're doing here, please subscribe to our YouTube channel because we're trying to grow our YouTube channel. Our Facebook page is reaching 2 million very soon, so that's fantastic. So we need to work on our YouTube side. Ali, the main thing I need you to check is whether we made it public for the YouTube chat. That's what you need to check.
Yeah, I'm working on bringing that up right now and see how this goes. And I'll let you know if we've got it public.
Yeah, it is public. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. All right, that's fine. Let me put a test here. That's fine. Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Good. There's something odd is happening, but we'll figure it out. Anyways, anything else that we need to announce? If you All right, yes. Another thing I wanted to mention, guys, to you guys, that this Atheist Republic News now has a podcast version of it. So if you guys want to listen to it on a podcast, just search for Atheist Republic, and you're gonna be able to see all our podcasts, because we have two podcasts going on. One of them is Atheist Republic Voicemails, and the other one is this one, which is Atheist Republic News. Soon we're going to be releasing Atheist Republic Discussions as well. And also, if you could support us on Patreon, that would be great, because I'll have the link in the description, because YouTube demonetizes most of these videos, so that would be greatly appreciated. Oh yeah, I see Beach is here. Greetings, and Mike is here. Hi, Mike. Okay, they're fantastic. Okay, so now we know everything is working fine. Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome. Yeah, Mike and Beach. All right. So what's the first news?
All right. First news is outrageously disheartening. Marital rape is not a crime in the Indian court system, so charges were dropped against a man accused of raping his wife. So this one's really messed up, because even the judge who was handing down this sentence was mad that it wasn't against the law in India to rape your wife. and it's a bit absurd. They do, like back in 2013, they put in different sections of the law saying that if your wife is under the age of 18, then you can be accused of raping her.
Right.
But other than that, a man is perfectly allowed to rape his wife in India according to their law right now. So this guy got off on that charge, but the judge was so upset at what had happened. They didn't go into detail about what really had happened, just that they obviously details of a rape. But the judge did direct the police to book the doctor who was being accused of raping his wife under sexual harassment and husband and relatives subjecting a woman to cruelty.
Wait, did we have the before a couple of years in India that this was actually that they made it illegal for, like, is this because I remember a few years ago we got some positive news that you can't rape your own wife.
Back in 2013, maybe, is that what you're thinking of?
I think so.
That was when they added different sections to it, saying that if your wife is under the age of 18, then it's rape. But if she's not under the age of 18, it's not rape. So maybe people were actually excited. I guess that was one step in the right direction. But they didn't go full force with it. I mean, if you rape a woman who happens to be your wife, it's still rape.
Wait, so what's the so you said the judge himself or herself? Himself? Okay, the judge didn't himself or herself didn't like this outcome. Is that why they were angry? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
So how did it happen then?
How did what happen?
Like, okay, no, go ahead. I interrupted you.
No, it's okay. The judge was upset about the fact that it was in law that a man can't rape his wife.
Oh.
So, after hearing what had happened to this woman, the judge was like, I'm still going to get you on something, but this needs to change. This law needs to change. Women deserve equal protection. And so I thought that was really neat. And the judge was a male, by the way.
Okay, so the judge is just following the law, but he's not happy with the law.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, at least that's a silver lining. But this is fucked up.
Yeah.
So what's the logic behind this law? I mean, there is no logic behind this law, but what's their logic behind their law? What they think is the logic behind the law?
I guess that a woman is property, technically. There's a lot of places, because throughout time women have been property, right?
Right.
And if you're married, then you can't rape something that
is yours.
Is yours, yeah.
Right. So yeah, because it's yours, you could do whatever you want to it, as a property, like a toy.
Yeah, and then they protect your property if it's severely young. Apparently
because it's not yours, because it's a different person. It's the father's property at that point.
Yeah.
Right. But this, they don't. It's like these laws kind of show that they don't see this as an adult, free person that has its own rights and desires. Right. Once you sign this contract, you have been sold from the father to this man. And what you want and what you're complaining about is irrelevant. You're another person's property, and they get to do whatever they want with to you. They get to do whatever they want to you, right?
Right.
That's fucking bizarre. It's scary. And it's even more. It's even more scary given that a lot of these women probably are married without their own. Maybe with, like, it must happen a lot, because a lot of these women are married to people that they were forced to get married to, right?
Right. I was reading an advertisement from India about jewelry, and it was, I don't know if it was satire or not, but it said you can't pick your husband, but you can pick your jewelry. But of course, it's notorious there that you don't marry for love often. It's prearranged marriage.
You can, I mean, like, what does the law say? That it specifically says that you can't rape your wife because she's your wife. So, like, what does it say? Like, does it say? I really don't understand this. They see it as a wife's duty to basically, like, that's her role to basically have sex whenever she's needed, right?
Yeah.
This is like a sex slave, pretty much. Like, you're not. It's not. It's the marriage is not seen as two people coming together and starting a family and making a team. This is not something. That's not how it's seen. It's basically you buying a sex object that is ready to fulfill your desires and make babies when needed. Right? That's what it is.
This is a direct quote. The husband cannot be prosecuted for the offense of rape punishable under Section 376 of the IPC at instance of his wife, as marital rape is not covered under Section 375 of IPC. And that's where they list out, you can't rape a woman, you can't force a woman, you can't threaten her. There can be no physical violence. If she's unable to give consent, then it's rape. But marital rape could only be by the use of force, battery, or sadistic obsessive rape. So it specifically spells out the fact that you can't force a woman into oral sex, sodomy, penetration by foreign objects, with the exception for married women who are above legal age. So it goes out of its way to call out every form of rape, every form of sexual abuse. It goes out of its way to call it on and say all of this can be punishable if you do this to another woman, but not if she's over 18 and she's your wife.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Not if she's over 18 and she's your wife.
Then you can do all of those things and it's fine. You can't be punished for it.
And even by force.
Even by force. Yeah.
Holy fuck. This is like...
Yeah, you can't penetrate her with foreign objects. That's perfectly fine in their Penal Code Section 375.
This is basically legalizing abuse against half of your fucking population.
Yep.
This is like a human rights crisis, isn't it?
It absolutely is. This is this is horrifying.
Okay. Anybody from India, if you have any comments on this, please let us know. I don't even understand the term marital rape. Rape is rape, right? It's just rape, isn't it? Like it's just rape. It doesn't matter just because you agreed to live with somebody. That doesn't mean now they have the right to rape you. What the fuck? Oh my god! Like, I mean, the thing is, the fact that this is, law in a country with such a big population, it means like this is not obvious and apparent as it is to us. Like, I'm trying to put myself in their thinking, right? Because this is not something we're looking at this and like we're saying, what the fuck? But this is making sense to a whole lot of people. And I'm just trying to see it from their view and trying to understand how they're looking at this. And they're like, yep. I mean, these are legal professionals. These are people that have studied law and they're not idiots. And there's a whole bunch of other people that agree with them. And they looked at this and like, yeah, if you're married to somebody, you could do this stuff to them. And I'm just trying to, I can't get it. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to understand how could people come up to these conclusions and I don't get it. And by the way, if people think this has nothing to do with religion or Hinduism or culture, I challenge you to tell me otherwise. Because please, this does come. I mean, there's a reason why we see these in some places and not in other places, right?
Okay.
But if you guys think that this has nothing to do with Hinduism or culture or religion, please comment and let us know why you think that, or if you're from India and you think it is relevant to that, please also comment and let us know, because we want to know what people from, and you don't even have to be from India. Anybody could that knows about Hinduism or India could please let us know. But anyways, do you want to look at some of the comments?
Yeah. So one person, John
Yeah,
Mefford, said this should be considered a crime against humanity. They should be forced to change this law or be invaded and their government replaced. Yeah, they absolutely should be forced to change this law. I mean, this only benefits the men who made the law. This only hurts and punishes half of India's population. Of course this needs to change. How is this not changed? How can anyone hear this and just be like, oh, this is okay? How?
right. And this is a law for all of India or for a specific place in India?
And that is a good question. And I think I would love it if someone could answer that for us, because this seems to be, by the way that the article is written, India Law Journal, right? So it seems to me like this is for all of India. So somebody please let me know
if it is from if it is from all of India, it's really scary. Like this is not making like headline news anywhere here. Like if it was U.S. or somewhere else, it would have, right? But we're talking about, half of, so India is like 1 billion, right? Yeah. We're talking about half the population, right? Right. So we're talking about 500 million people, right? We're talking about legalizing rape of 500 million people on this planet. So this guy, whoever said that comment, they're totally right. This is like a human rights crisis right now.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. Let's. It's scary.
Ready to go on to the next story?
Let me just adjust something. Just posted on Twitter that we're live now. All right, let's go to. Yeah, I should have done that before. There's so many things that you have to do before a live stream. It's just crazy. Okay. Anyway, so. All right. So. Okay. ISIS is relevant again. What is happening?
There we go. Yeah, they're taking responsibility for the killing of a Pakistani Christian family. So, if anybody knows what's going on in Pakistan right now, obviously it's not news on any big circuits like it should be that atheists are obviously being abused quite often in Pakistan. But even another group is being attacked in Pakistan, and that is the Christian population of Pakistan. They are just constantly getting beat by extremists. So of course Easter was upon us last weekend, and a family was riding in a rickshaw, and it was a family of 3, and they were coming home from an Easter event when ISIS pulled up, and they said that they did it on motorcycles. And they just blasted the family and the guy driving the rickshaw, because he worked for the church, killing them all. And they released a statement. ISIS released a statement saying, shot them with a pistol, which resulted in the killing of 4 of them, and all praise is due to Allah.
Oh my God.
So the 3 members of the family were murdered. The rickshaw driver murdered. It's really messed up. But, here we are. This is a CNN article, and it kind of rubs me the wrong way, because one, I absolutely do believe that if anybody is being targeted, it needs to be out in the news, right? And here CNN is saying that Pakistan's Christian minority has often been the target of militants, right? But they are currently right now, as you and I are speaking, throwing atheists in prison and beating them and torturing them and doing terrible things like the story we reported on 2 weeks ago, where they were going to make one cousin suck his other cousin's dick. They're doing terrible things to atheists and unbelievers, and I don't see in any CNN articles, or at least I don't see it as often as I see the Christian minority getting targeted,
right?
Where they're talking about atheist minorities who are targeted, because it is a lot worse. And
Right.
it's
Just to be clear, we're not saying this Christians being attacked shouldn't get attention. It definitely should get
that's
attention.
right. It should get attention.
We're just saying
It's
why don't we get a CNN article also not just but also when atheists in Pakistan are being attacked and be made to uh, force them to do, or that was a weird article last time, right? Yeah. Yeah, and then one of them had to jump out of the window because he didn't want to do it, right? So,
Yep.
that's what, and that doesn't get any attention on CNN. But Christians attacks because I mean they know what gets the clicks, right? Atheists being prosecuted doesn't get clicks, but not that this doesn't deserve attention. This does deserve attention. In fact, I want to mention one of the comments, one of the very disgusting comments that we got on Facebook by Edgy Mix. He says, "I don't give a flying fuck if religious are killing each other." Well, fuck you, okay? What are you saying? You're saying that you think the people that are wrong about their ideology deserve to be killed because they're wrong?
That's ridiculous.
That's fucking ridiculous. You're disgusting, okay? Yes, they are wrong. Yeah, Christians are wrong. Muslims are wrong. They have a misunderstanding about how the world works and what, we all believe that they're wrong, okay? But to think that they deserve to kill each other because they're wrong? Well,
no.
Yeah, I mean you're wrong too. So if you're wrong, do you deserve to be killed? Oh my God, what the fuck? This is such a toxic way of looking at the world. I mean, what's the difference? I mean, I don't want to. I mean, the problem we have with a lot of religious extremists is that they kill each other for their ideology, right? And if you think that these what you call religious deserve to kill each other because they're wrong about their ideology, then you're as disgusting as they are, Edgy. It's one thing to point to people that they're deluded, that they're wrong, that their ideology is is harmful. It's another thing to think that they deserve to kill each other because of it.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, fuck you. So what about... Right. All right. Let's go. Do you have anything to add to that, or should we go to the next one?
No,
is there anything in the YouTube or Facebook chat that we need to mention? Let me just look at... we should have... Bij asked something about the previous news. We should have... guess the out on this is for women to live common law and not marry them. Bij is asking if maybe women shouldn't marry. It's talking about the Indian news. Bij, I don't think the problem is that a lot of them don't have a choice. Anyways, let's go to the Malaysian one.
Okay. This one is severely messed up. So I think we brought light to this a couple episodes ago where we spoke about how an author put out a post in one of their popular magazines about how to spot a gay. And that's because the LGBT community has no love in Malaysia. No love. Well, now a Malaysian university holds a contest to convert gay students. And this contest, which is called Back to Fitrah, sorry if I mispronounced that.
What is it called?
Back to Fitrah, Fitrah.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
Yeah, and this organized event to turn members of the LGBT community was backed by the university. The university is like, yes, this is a great thing for you to do, and we will back this contest.
So it's a contest, like you get a prize if you manage to convert gays to straight? Is that how it works?
I mean, I think what it is, it says the contest, which included the creation of posters, was part of a Back to Fitrah forum recently held at the university, which sought to help LGBT students who have disorders in sexual orientation return to their natural instincts. So you think that this contest is just something where they want everyone to get involved, and they want everyone to, bring as many people back as possible. One of the things they were quoted as saying was, "We're trying to educate people. This is our view, to correct LGBT, not to persecute, not to condemn them." If you're taking someone and you are caring about their sexuality and you feel the need to step in yourself and change their behavior, that's not educating, one. Two, that is persecuting, right? Because you're singling them out because of their sexuality. You are treating them differently because of their sexuality. And, I can't believe this is actually...
Wait, so okay, so if they say it's not persecution, okay, fine, it's not singling them out. Okay, so let's welcome in the spirit of not persecuting people and being inclusive, let's support a counter contest, and let's have the gay students also have a contest in turning the straight students gay. Right?
That would be amazing, right? There we go.
Let's make it a competition, okay? We could, yes. I that's my solution. Let me see what the comments are. Tabzil. Okay, so Tabzil is quoting the article, I think. "We love them. We want to help them." He or she found it in the article. "Same as Christians. You don't love them. You want them to come back to the chains you have put around yourself. They broke free. They choose their own path." Right, yeah. So Tabzil is saying, no, you don't love them. You don't want to help them. They broke free and you just want to put them back in chains.
Yep.
Yeah. And another person that I'm not even going to try to pronounce this person's name, is saying, "You mean ... if I go to Malaysia pretending to be gay, all hot chicks will try to bang with me?" Hey, that's a great idea. Okay. Yes, that's a great idea. Straight students boys in Malaysia pretend to be gay and ask all the girl students to turn you straight. I think that's fantastic. Yes, that's a great plan. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me see what else. Well, I have an idea. Okay, so another person that I can't pronounce their name, Urges. Well, I have an idea. Some may like it and some may not. Try organizing an orgy. I already like this plan. I don't know what the rest of it is. And have lots of drugs, maybe some alcohol too. It won't solve anything, but the participants may have a great time. Okay. I guess.
Yeah.
CJ is saying, "I tried that for 10 years. I think CJ is gay. It doesn't matter how hard you lie to yourself. Your sexuality is intrinsically part of yourself that you can't change." Yes, you can. You can only pretend, and you're going to be very depressed. You're gonna be very depressed. And you know what you should do? You guys should have another idea is to just tell everybody, is like, just make a group for gay people that are. Just tell them that you have okay, yes, fine. This is a mental disorder, and all of us gay people are gonna get together. And we're going to figure out, we don't need your help. We're just going to create our own group, and we're going to try to solve this together, okay? But just don't tell them what you're going to do in these groups. Just say these are secret groups. We're going to just turn it into a dating experiment. Right? Just put a call out for all gay boys and girls to join your club and into solving this issue. But secretly just turn it into a place where you could meet each other and find each other and organize, organize some activism, and I don't know, but this is fucking bizarre. Okay, fine. Another thing we can do to tell people how ridiculous this is to create another group, another contest to cure the disorder of Islam. Okay? And be basic in Malaysia. Yeah, do that. Be like, this is not hating on Muslims, okay? And we love Muslims, okay? And we think Islam is a disorder, and we want to cure this disorder, okay? And this is not persecution of Muslims. What are you guys talking about, okay? We're just curing this disease of Islam that you guys are having, and we think it's not natural, and we want to bring you back to your natural self, which is without delusion and without dogma. Have a contest for save a Muslim from Islam contest.
Yes.
Yeah, do that. Actually, that's a good idea. All right, let's go to the next. Do you want to add anything to that before we go?
I mean, yeah, I think you pretty much said it all. I think that people should really fight back with that. I know that we're joking about.
No, the last one was serious. The last one was serious.
Straight or gay.
Yeah.
It's just that I think that the LGBT students, I wish they could get together and just fight back somehow. And it's hard to do in Malaysia. I know that's it's almost as hard as coming out as an atheist anymore, because the LGBT community is so hated in that country that they probably can't even trust each other. It's pretty bad. But yeah, I don't know. Just everyone be careful over there, please.
Yeah, be careful. By the way, Casey Atheist just joined, and
hi.
Say comment not a bad plan, Armin, and Beej also is saying that would be a good way to find a quick date. Yeah, but be careful, not to risk anything. Scream it, yeah. Wow, that's a pretty interesting username. Hi, the Spaghetti Monster is real. Oh yeah, yes he is, or she. All right, let's go to the next news. Woman across Pakistan. Oh, God. What's the Pakistan one? Again, Pakistan.
Yeah, this one's actually good. I really like it when we can talk about good news. And let me wait for this to show up on my screen. Sorry, guys. I am in Dallas today doing this show. I'll be speaking at a free thinking convention. So there we go. It finally pulled up. It looks like this is the third annual event of this, but it's called Girls.
Wait, let's not confuse people. You're saying you're in Dallas, but we're talking about Pakistan, okay? So Allie is saying that she's in Dallas. She's in Dallas speaking at an event. That's why she's having a hard time bringing up the news. But the news the news is about Pakistan. Okay, good.
This is about Pakistan, and it's been getting a lot of, I guess, rush on social media right now with the hashtag Girls on Bikes. Okay. They went to Lahore, to a lot of the main cities where they kind of call it like men's areas, because there's not a lot of safe travel for women in Pakistan. So sometimes you'll see women completely out of the picture in certain areas of the city. So for the past 3 years, girls have been getting on bikes and reclaiming their space around Pakistan, going into those areas where women typically aren't seen, and with signs letting them know this is our place too. We get to be here too. I think it's really great. I think it's great these women are getting together, saying, let's just put ourselves back out there before maybe one day we can't ever go back out there, because it's officially a man's place and we're not allowed to go.
Yeah. So. Like you get the comment like, sister, go. Like I know in some, I don't know how it's in Pakistan, but like, where's your man? Why are you, why are you alone here? This is, you should be at home. Kind of like, I don't know. You're basically provoking men by just walking, apparently. But this is, what's the hashtag?
Girls on Bikes.
Girls on Bikes. Can you bike your way into the mosque, in the front lines of the mosque? Because that's where, because in the mosque, in the mosque, women are not allowed in the front section of the mosque. They have to be the back section of the mosque.
No, I don't think they can bike there. Sad
Um,
though, sad. But they actually got a lot of negative reactions here. Like,
because of
so
biking in
why do
public.
you? Because they're biking in major cities, and the men are like, so what? Why do you feel the need? You have to do this. It's not a man's space. Women are allowed. Blah blah blah. Well, you know what? It's just like here in America when people say, why do atheists care so much that "In God We Trust" is on a bill? Why do they care so much if a cross is up? Atheists need to let crosses remain. Blah blah. No, because you start off small. Just like right now, women have a hard time traveling safely throughout Pakistan. So a lot of places are owned by men, basically, and a lot of places you only see men in them. And eventually, what's going to happen is that absolutely is going to turn into a men's only place because it's been this way for so long. Now, all of a sudden, women can't go there. They are trying to start while things aren't so serious, and prevent it from becoming that serious. I think that it's great that they do this.
Yeah, yeah. If you do this, like in Iran, for example, women are not even allowed in stadiums, right? You want to make sure
Yes,
that you do stuff like this before it becomes a bigger problem, not after.
absolutely,
Uh,
absolutely.
Look at the
And what
comment.
they're doing is so important. I just love it.
Right. So actually, let me just show one of the comments that somebody left. Oh, people can't see this. Can anybody see this? Let me just make it a bit smaller. No, nobody can see this. Do you see one of the comments that somebody left? Here, I'll do it like this. So somebody.
Is it on YouTube?
No, it's in the article. It says,
No.
"I'm not able." So somebody on our Facebook went and grabbed one of the comments that somebody left on the article, and it's from Mirza G. And he's saying, "I'm not able to understand what they all want. For me, I will not allow my sister to ride a bike and shows her body." Okay, by the way, I'm just reading it out loud.
Oh, I see it. No,
don't-
I just found it. I
Yeah.
see what you're saying.
And shows her body curves to all. Wow, Mirza thinks he owns her sister. Everyone, Mirza G.
Wow. She can't show her curves by getting on a bike?
Burqa is needed, and with burqa, you cannot ride a cycle. Yeah, you can drive a car, and these kind of girls are everywhere who invite others to rape them, and after that they will say, "Mera jisim mari marzi." Okay, that's Urdu, I think. I have no fucking idea what that is. But so Mirza thinks that this is a bad idea, and he thinks that he will never allow his sister to be on a bike in public spaces, because he thinks that you need to have a burqa, and without a burqa while biking, people will be seeing all your curves, and that's not good. Well,
That's just terrible, isn't it?
Mirza, I think the worse than people seeing your sister's curves is the fact that your sister is owned by you. Apparently, I think that's a bigger tragedy here right now, and that you think that you have control over what an adult individual can do or cannot do. That's a way bigger issue here, and the fact that you think girls are inviting to be raped by biking. For fuck's sakes, Mirza, I don't know how to respond to that, right?
I don't either. That's just, besides.
What does that say about men in Pakistan, Mirza? If you think that they can't control themselves, that women on bikes is too much for them to control themselves. That's and maybe actually Mirza is proving that this is how much needed, right? That if you think Mirza is proving the point. Go take over these places before they tell you that you can't
that you can't go
there
yes,
because you're too because
exactly
you're
right.
because they seem to not be able to control themselves from raping you. Maybe okay. Here's a suggestion, Mirza. If you are if you're the kind of man that sees a woman on a bicycle and can't help but rape them, then maybe you need to stay at home. Okay? It's not the woman that needs to stay at home. It's you that needs to stay at home. Okay? All right. Should we go? Do you have? Let me see if there's anything on YouTube. You check Facebook.
Yeah.
Good for the Pakistan. Alex is saying good for the Pakistani woman on the YouTube chat.
Right.
All right, I'm going to go. If there's nothing else to say, let's go to the next news.
Yep. Go to the next news.
Oh, yeah, I saw this one. This is...
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
This one was actually written by David McGaffey. I love David McGaffey. So, yeah, this mom on Easter morning, you know, I remember back to before I get into the story, I just want to say, I remember when I was growing up, very fundamentally Christian. Easter was an amazing time. We got up early. We all went to church. We all knew that was expected of us. And, you know, even though I sometimes complain about my parents in my childhood, at least this never happened to me. So this mom in the United States on Easter morning woke her son up for church by tasing him with a taser gun. So she said to her son, "Get up, it's Jesus' day." And recanting the story, she said he was like, "Mom, I'm calling the police." And she said, "You can call the police, UPS, DPS, whoever you want to call." Police were on the phone, and I told the dispatcher, I told her, "You need to be with Jesus right now." That is a quote from my mother. This actually happened. I actually watched this on my local news. So yes, this is a real thing that actually happened. And I saw an interview with this mom. It was crazy. So of course the police came. She woke her son up for Easter with a taser. And she told everybody that she didn't think she did anything wrong because you're supposed to put God first. And that's all she was trying to do. Was to tell her kids to put God first. And so now she's being charged with one count of child abuse with intent to cause harm. And she spent 12 hours in jail on Easter.
Yeah, that's fantastic. For she deserves everything she... Oh, my God. Good job on the son to call the police. The son called the police?
Good job on him.
Yeah.
I was always too afraid to call the police on my parents. They never teased me with a taser gun. But, you know, that is a scary thing to do. I think with a lot of kids, especially, growing up where your parents are the law, it's kind of hard to break away and say, you know, I'm going to report you. This is ridiculous. I can't believe you did this to me. Good for him. Like, I bet he was scared and I bet he was terrified. And I'm scared and terrified for him now because this mother doesn't seem to know. Like, she still thinks that what she did was perfectly okay. Not only was it perfectly okay, but it was amazing because she did it for God.
Fuck
And
her,
that scares
seriously.
me.
This is
Yeah,
put God before everything, including your own son. Imagine being the cop getting that call, like, "Hi, yeah, my mom just tased me in church." Like, what the fuck?
She tased him in bed to get up for church.
Oh, to get up in church. Oh, maybe. Fuck.
Can you imagine getting woken up at night? So according to her story was that's like the first time she went into her kid's room. She was like, "Hey, time to get up for church. It's Jesus' day. Tase." Like, she didn't make it sound like she even gave him any chance to get out of bed.
Right. You should. You know, I don't do. Okay, this is a joke, so I'm not saying this. But what if you just don't say I'm advocating for violence or anything? Like, but what if you go? You know. You tase your mom and say, "I'm a Muslim now, and today is Muhammad's birthday. Get up, and we need to go to mosque."
Right. Well,
Or like tase your mom like, "Hail Satan, bitch! Today's Satan's Day. Oh fuck. What the? But
Crazy.
I'm proud of these kids. I'm seeing more and more kids. Like we had news last the mom that what happened last week, right? The mom
Oh,
that
yes.
drove into the pole to prove Jesus to her son, to her kids, and the kids were like, "Yeah, she was saying this Jesus, la 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 la, that bullshit."
Yeah,
Like,
she was saying,
yeah,
Mom
more kids.
was saying, I love God, blah, blah, blah.
Blah blah blah. Yeah,
She
yeah, yeah.
closed her eyes and drove us into a pole.
Yeah, I'm hoping these kids with religious parents are, I think because of social media and stuff, more of these kids are thinking like, okay, my parents are just fucking nuts. Like it used to be like, uh, you know, parents were able to brainwash their kids more easily, but now kids are like saying, okay, I think my parents are nuts. Right,
For
right.
sure.
I'm hoping that this is more kids are coming to the conclusion that this is not right, and
Well, and that actually segues us perfectly into our next article.
but okay, before we go to the next article, let's look at the top comment. So James is on the Facebook comment is saying, when is the first time any of you tase your kids to get them up for science class? Question mark. Exactly. Yet another notch for, is that how for atheists being better? I don't know, Jim.
Yeah, you said it.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. We do have our share. I mean, I don't want to. I don't want to sell this idea that atheists are better or worse. I just want to get to the point that we're not considered as inferior to Christians or Muslims because we're atheists, right? Let's not try.
Right.
Let's not go as far as saying, because yes, some atheists come to their conclusions because they have a scientific mind and they're very skeptical, and they think about things logically, but that's not always the case. Some people become atheists for emotional reasons, and and even if you can't become atheist for emotional reasons, you still shouldn't be seen as inferior to religious people. I just want to get us to a point where people don't see an atheist and they think like, okay, well, these people are like the devil, or like they deserve punishment, or they deserve to be demonized or isolated. Let's just get to the point where we're not seen as inferior, but not go as far as trying to suggest that we are superior because we're atheists. Okay?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's just not true. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a parent, and I have to tell my kids I'm sorry every day for one reason or another. Like, far from perfect. And while of course I'm never going to wake up my kid with a taser gun, I know a lot of Christian parents who also would not wake up their children with a taser gun.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
just because.
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, just because one did it doesn't mean that they're all like this. And I think that is important.
I don't want to get into the not all thing, because that's.
Yeah.
To be fair, religion does make you do crazy shit, but my point is that we got one question right. I think we got the question, if there's a God or not right, and they didn't. Okay. But there might be other questions that I'm pretty sure that there are some views that we have that is wrong, right? And
Sure.
I'm pretty sure that I have many views, many beliefs that are wrong. I think and some views that they might have got right, and I'm on the wrong side of the belief system when it comes to those other points of view, right? What I'm suggesting is that the religious people might be on the wrong side on the God argument, but they might be on the right side on some other arguments that we are on the wrong side of, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But to be fair, yes, religion does make you do crazy shit. I don't deny that. But I'm just saying that, just as we saw in the comment section today, atheists are not immune from having barbaric views, right? I'm pretty sure if you get the stats on this, you will see that it's more likely. I mean, we have seen the stats, right? That it's more likely for people with religious views to be able to justify crazy actions, right? But
Yeah.
religion is not the only method to justify, you know, stupid shit, but it's one of the best ones and one of the most used ones. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but people do find other ways to justify stupid shit. Um, I want to. What I'm trying to do is to put religion in its place where it deserves. I don't want to give religion any excuses by saying, "Oh, religion doesn't influence your behavior." It absolutely fucking does, right? And it only influences your behavior in a destructive way. Whatever example you could come up with in a positive way that might influence your behavior, it is achievable without religion.
Right.
So I'm not making any excuses for religion, right? But what I'm saying is that um, there are other ways to come up with excuses for doing stupid shit, but that doesn't excuse the fact that religion is the number one way and is the most useful way and it's the most destructive when it comes to ideologies that do make people act in ways that is not in their best interest. But at the same time, many atheists, I would agree that it's less common to see this in atheists. But also the fact that you are an atheist could be a product of the fact that your environment, your education, your genes. So claiming to be superior is not very helpful. You could, but to be fair, you could take pride in the fact that you didn't get brainwashed. Okay, I don't want to. If you take pride in something, are you claiming to be superior? No, because you're at the same time you're acknowledging that you could be wrong in many other things that other people that got this certain question wrong, maybe they got right, right? And it's one thing to claim that you are better than other people, which you can do, but it's a harder thing to claim that an entire group of people are superior, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. If you think that I'm wrong, that atheists, we should be able to claim that we're superior as atheists, please comment and let me know why you think that. Or if you think that the other side to even claim that atheists on average are better and have less excuses for doing bullshit. If you think that's a bullshit thing to say, also let me know. So Judy is saying good for the kid for calling the cops. I wonder what the fuck else she has done to him. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's sad to think about.
yeah. Anyways, let's go to the next news, which is actually quite relevant to the first one, even though it's a completely different religion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, more children reporting their parents to authorities. On this next article, 4 children claim they were made to watch Islamic State beheading videos and fed anti-British views. And it's not just that. I mean, these parents isolated their children. They were aged 10, 14, 16, and 18. The youngest one, who has learning difficulties, was so traumatized by the physical and emotional abuse that he suffered, he was unable to speak, 10 years old and unable to speak. They said that after watching these beheading videos that they were forced to watch, that it really messed them up psychologically. So they did. They went to the authorities. They reported this behavior to the authorities. They reported their emotional and physical abuse to the authorities, and they were removed from the parents' home, which is fantastic. They applauded the young girl who ended up calling the authorities, and the parents continued to deny the extent of the complaints made against them. They said they didn't make their children watch inappropriate images of extremism on videos, such as the beheading or a rotting corpse. Oh,
Fucking
so sad.
hell. How old were these kids?
They were 10, 14, 16, and 18.
And which one of them is not able to speak anymore because they're so traumatized?
The 10-year-old, unable to speak now because
What the
they're so
fuck?
traumatized.
What fucked up?
Can't speak. Oh my goodness. Like that, I can't imagine. I can't imagine what you'd have to do to a child to get them to that point. Just, oh my God, my heart is broken for these kids.
Yeah, how traumatized do you have to be for you not to be able to speak?
Holy
fuck.
Wow.
Good. Which one of them? How old was the one that made the call? The 18-year-old? Probably.
I'm not sure if it was the 18-year-old. It just said the teenage girl had raised alarm by emailing Childline.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah.
You saved yourself and your siblings. They owe you so much.
She did. So brave.
Yeah.
So incredibly brave.
My parents are fucked up. They're making us watch ISIS videos. I watched some ISIS videos and it fucked me. Like, I had dreams about these motherfuckers for a whole week. Like these videos, I saw videos of like little kids, like 4-year-olds, being forced to behead somebody. Okay.
Oh my God.
Like and it was so bad because the guy that was being beheaded, it was such a slow process because the little kid couldn't really hold the knife very strongly, right? So it was such a slow process. So that guy had to go through so much agony, and it's being done by a kid. Like, imagine these kids had to watch a beheading, and how much it fucked them up. Imagine the kids, 4-year-olds, that are forced to do a beheading.
I can't. I have a 4-year-old. I can't even imagine. I can't.
Oh my God. I watched so many ISIS videos just to see what the fuck these people do. I watched them burning people alive, and one of the soldiers that was being burned alive called that for his mom.
Oh my God.
It was so bad. Yeah.
Oh, that's tragic.
Fuck. These people are fucking monsters. So these parents are gonna go to jail or something?
Right now, it's still being tried. They've just denied the accusation, but the children were removed. So they can deny all they want to. The children are in a safe place right now. And of course, I mean, if they're innocent, and I don't know. I mean, like if you traumatize your child to the point where they can't speak anymore, I don't know.
And this is in UK, right?
Yes.
Okay, and this should be easy to prove. You just separate the kids and ask for them to say what happened, except that fucking the one that can't speak anymore.
Right.
And then just see if their stories match, and then you have a proof, right? You have proof whether this happened or not. I mean, their internet history should be available as well.
Right. That's the thing, is this would be outrageously easy to prove. So once they do move on to trying this, I guess all that will come out. Good for them.
Yeah. Top comments saying Johan, is saying Johan is saying that if the parents think ISIS is so great, just send their asses to Syria. Think they will change their minds pretty quickly. I don't think so. I think they want. I think they know very much what's happening in Syria, and the people that watch these videos, they might even welcome it, but they might want to stay in UK because they want to wage war on UK, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, come from him. So Tristan, is that how you say that? Just comment is just shows morals and the difference between right and wrong. Come from humanity, not religion. The children knew right from wrong and managed to get out before they were indoctrinated. Actually, that's a very good point, because these kids, do you think they called on their parents? What do you think? They called on the parents because they read the Quran and thought this was wrong? Or did you just think like, okay, this is something that people could tell biologically because we sympathize with our fellow human beings that this is fucked up and this shouldn't happen?
I think what they did, because like I said, I'm a mother. I think what they did is they looked at their 10-year-old sibling who's no longer able to speak anymore, and said, we need to get this kid the fuck out of here. Right. I think that was their motivation.
See, the fact, but the fact that one of the kids knew that there's such things as, child protective services and stuff like that shows that the influence of the outside world was important, right?
Yeah.
If this was in a different country where you didn't know this was an option, if you didn't know this was an option, you might not even know the brainwashing of your parents might work, right? You might, okay, this is how reality works. This is what's good. This is what's bad, right? But the fact that
Right.
one of them knew that there's such a service exists, it means that they are aware that they're aware of different standards. That they're aware that there are people out there that would receive this email and be like, "What the fuck," right?
Right.
And they're aware that
Right.
there are people with the different value systems outside of this household, and they wouldn't approve of this. So this shows that it's not Islam what people call peaceful Islam or moderate Islam, which is all bullshit, that is competing with Islam. It's other views, better value systems that is competing with Islam among people that are being raised in Muslim families that people are using as competition to the values they're getting from Islam. That what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is,
Yeah.
what you need against Islam is not reformist Islam. You need better ideas outside of Islam. All right, and to this 18-year-old, it was very clear which one was the better value system, and you had your own parents, which have so much more influence on you, and the outside world that has less influence on you, but the influence was enough for you to recognize that that's better.
Yeah.
And you reached out to the outside world. You reached out to the people with the better value system, and you asked them for help, and you asked them to come save you, right? You don't need to change Islam from within. You need to compete with it. You need to compete with it with better ideas. And if this 18-year-old can tell the difference and can decide that those values seems better, and I need to save myself and my siblings from my evil parents, from this dogma, if that's how much, if just even a little bit of exposure to that value system was enough, then that's the path that we should go. If we tell people your religion is peaceful and it's good as it is, and this ISIS and all this bullshit is not Islamic, all you have to do is just go to the text and realize that they're wrong. Your parents could open the Quran and the Hadith to you and tell you how misguided these people are, and you are right and they are wrong, and you will be able to prove them wrong. But if you just throw that away, people think that that's how you could change people's minds, right? That's how you fight extremism. But this girl shows us that no, that's not how you fight extremism. You don't need Islam to fight extremism. You need something better than Islam to fight extremism. Right?
Yeah.
You just need some level of exposure. You need to reach out to these people. And if these parents have done their best to keep their children in a bubble and brainwash them, and they failed, right? That should.
Oh, they tried hard too. By the way, they only let their children out of the home 3 days a week.
Right, and if they fail, that means that we can reach out to. If we can reach out to these kids, that means we can reach out to anybody. I mean, imagine if these kids are being exposed to this in the UK. Then it should be easier for the parents like this to create bubbles for their kids in Syria or in Iraq or in Pakistan, right?
Right.
We need to pierce these bubbles. We need to find a way in all of these bubbles. Anyways, we're coming for your children.
Anyway.
We're coming for your children, Muslim people. All right, let's go. Oh my God, this one. Actually, let me see what anybody said on YouTube. 13-year-old.
I'm checking on Facebook right now.
All right, let's see. The religion of peace. Christians did the same shit in the past. Yeah, I know. Okay. I don't like it when people say Christians did the same thing. Because the example I give, because we talk about Christianity enough, we don't have to mention Christianity every time we talk about. I know, Casey, I'm not criticizing you, by the way, but I am actually. Never mind. But I hope you didn't get upset about this, because when you're talking about the example I give is when maybe that's not fair. Let me just see the worst thing I've ever seen or heard. The Christians did the same thing, the same shit in the past. Yes, but the thing is, Casey, when we mention Christianity, every time we criticize Islam, we're reducing, we're a little bit distracting that the focus from Islam. It's kind of like if you have a fundraiser for cancer, and we keep reminding people in the fundraiser that AIDS is an issue as well. I think that Islam deserves this attention, and I know you're not doing that because I do know that you're very critical of Islam as well. I just do want to reduce the number of times that we say Christianity does this as well every time we mention Islam, because Islam does deserve its, Christianity deserves its own focus, and Islam deserves its own focus as well, right? And Hinduism as well, and Judaism as well. Sometimes we talk about all religions. Sometimes we're talking about a specific religion at a time. And yeah, Eric is saying it's whataboutism. I don't think it's fair. I don't think Casey is doing whataboutism because Casey is critical of Islam. But you're right, Eric. Sometimes it comes across as whataboutism. Islam is worse than Christianity. Let's be fair, okay? Christianity is really bad, but Islam is way worse. Way worse. There's no denying that. If you read the text, both texts, people mention the amount of violence that is in the Old Testament, but the level of violence that is directed to people that are following Islam in this world, and not by their God, by people themselves, and the amount of influence that Islam demands in politics and in everything, in every aspect of people's lives, it's not the same in Christianity. And I'm not making an excuse for Christianity. Christianity is barbaric, is violent, it's a dogma, but sometimes we need to focus on Islam, and when we're talking about Islam, we need to just keep our focus on Islam. But yeah, I hope we're not losing Casey as a fan because I like her comments, his or her comments. All right.
Awesome.
Anyways, what's next? Oh, did you have anything from Facebook?
No, I didn't have anything specifically about this on Facebook.
All right, let's go to save Jesus. Oh yeah, I saw a video of this.
This is great. So this is another funny Easter story. In Brazil, they were putting on I guess, Passion of the Christ kind of a play where the Roman soldier stabs the spear through Jesus' rib cage while he's being crucified, right? So everyone knows that story, who knows Christianity, who's read the Bible, or seen Passion of the Christ. So they're putting on this play in Brazil, and this guy jumps on stage and starts attacking the Roman guard who's spearing Jesus. So this guy was saving Jesus.
What the?
In the play.
But hold on, Jesus, I'm coming to save you. But why?
Well, I love it. I love how the article starts off with Jesus saves, but who saves Jesus? This guy. This guy saves Jesus.
But
it's an amazing, it's a funny one.
Okay, so you think this guy was like a serious Christian that saw somebody like attacking Jesus, and you're like, nope, not today? Like, what do you think was happening? This is
Oh yeah, no, he definitely. You got Jesus once, you're not getting him again. I think that this was a big Jesus fan because the actors had to rush to subdue the guy who attacked the Roman guard spearing Jesus. Like, they had to bring him down, and the actor playing Jesus, by the way, remained calm. But yeah, like they had to wrestle the guy down. So.
No.
I do. I think that he was symbolically showing his love for Jesus.
I'm watching the video, and the guy didn't even hesitate for 1 second. He just jumped on the stage. The guy was like, piercing Jesus right on stage, and he just jumps and he just hits the Roman guard in the head with what? With something? What? He used like a metal object to hit the guy. So basically, for people that are listening and not watching, this is which part of the crucifixion is this? So Jesus is dying on the cross, and the Roman soldier comes with a spear, and right when he's trying to kill Jesus, right, he basically, people know the story, right? I'm hoping everybody knows the story. It's the most famous story in the world, right before he pierced Jesus in the rib, like where in the lower, where is it? How do you describe it?
In his rib cage.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So right before that, right when he does that, he comes and hits them on the head, and he hits really hard. And yeah, but yeah, Jesus does keep calm while is doing it. But he. But if I was Jesus, I would like. If I was Jesus, I would be like, I would drop a line right there. This would be a great opportunity to be like, no, forgive them, for they do not. No, that's what he should say. Like, hey, I told you to forgive them, for they do not know what they. Isn't that the line in the Bible?
Yeah.
Father.
Well, this guy actually screamed out.
What did he say?
He did it. He screamed out, "I am not going to let Jesus die." He screamed that out right.
But Jesus, but okay, but if this guy believes in his own bullshit, he just fucked up all humanity, right?
Because Jesus had to die.
Jesus had to die. This was part of the plan, because this was God's plan, right? So you just fucked the whole concept of Christianity. Now Jesus didn't die for our sin. Now no one's sin is going to be forgiven. Now all the Christians in the world are going to go to hell because you didn't let this. Actually, I don't know, because Jesus was supposed. He's on the cross anyway, so he might have died anyway.
He would have died in like starvation.
Yeah. So right? Actually, that's even worse. So because this Roman soldier was doing Jesus a favor.
He was indeed, absolutely.
Yeah, he was trying to end his suffering. He was like, die already, right? Jesus is thirsty. He's on a cross. He was gonna die a slow death. So this guy comes and like, here, I'll let you suffer less, right? And so what did you do? You stopped the Roman soldier, and now Jesus has to be up there thirsty, bleeding, and going through a painful death.
Having like birds come and peck at his flesh. Yeah.
And in fact, and Jesus never died for. Okay, let's say the stories are true. Okay, so they say Jesus died for our sins, right? He never died for our sins, even if the stories are true, because he came back, right?
Right.
What kind of a fucking sacrifice is that? If you're supposed to die for our sins, then stay dead, right?
Yeah.
Because if you come back, isn't that a breach of contract?
It negates the dying in the first place.
Yeah, like Jesus died for our sins. No, he didn't. He came back. He's now king in heaven. Jesus not only he didn't die, he got an upgrade. He got an upgrade from just being like a homeless person that goes around and talks to people about being God and stuff, to now being on the throne in heaven, right? That's an upgrade. That's not a sacrifice. Okay, fine. He was, okay, so he had a bad crucifixion. So because people say we should adjust that to Jesus had a bad weekend for our sins, right? Yeah. But honestly, if you tell me that you have a bad weekend, you're going to go through a lot of pain, but then you're going to be king, and you are king eternal king in heaven, I'm going to be like, yeah, okay, fine, crucify me, right? I mean, it's not a sacrifice. In fact, Jesus might have not been signed up for this if he knew somebody's going to jump on stage and make the crucifixion last longer. Maybe the contract that he signed with his father originally was like, okay, I'm suffering only like 4 hours tops, right? And that guy's like, okay, fine, I'll get a Roman soldier to come kill you after 4 hours. And now this guy just ruined everything. But the original contract that Jesus has with all Christians is that I died for your sins. That's the line in the contract, and Christians should sue Jesus for a breach of contract because he came back.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways, let's see the top comments. Midge. Does he not know it's a play? Yeah, what the? Oh, no. Oh, never mind. If you believe something with that logic, I guess the sky is the limit. That's true. Leanne is saying, let me guess who he voted for. Oh, this is Filipino politics. Wait, what is Leanne talking about? Is she talking about Trump? Because I think, where are you from, Leanne? Because this is in Philippines.
It's in Brazil, isn't it?
Oh, isn't it? It looks like Philippines. Is it in Brazil?
Yeah, it says Brazil in
Oh,
the
it's in
article.
Brazil. Okay, never mind. I don't know why it looked Filipino to me. Why? But what is Leanne saying?
I don't know.
Let me guess who he voted for. If that suggests that you think this guy voted for Trump, this shows how U.S.-centric commenters are.
Yeah.
Because and if you're talking about Brazilian politics, then you're assuming that people know Brazilian politics. I don't know what this person was talking about.
I don't know.
Let me guess who he voted for. Okay. Daniel, when people are so blinded by their fantasy, they cannot even tell they are watching a remake of their. Maybe he was drunk or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
It
Could have been.
Andrew is saying, I want to take this guy to the Book of Mormon play. Yeah, oh my god. Guys, if you guys watching this on a podcast, just go search for the YouTube. Let me see what the title of the YouTube is. Man attacks.
If he's prone to just lashing out at things he doesn't like, I'd like to take him with me to the DMV.
No. No. Man attacks actor
Maybe he
to
does
save
this
Jesus.
everywhere. Maybe he charges kitchens at restaurants if they don't make his meal right. I mean, we don't know who this guy is. We don't know.
This is funny. Right. He should have. He should. He's a bit late, by the way. He should have jumped on the stage when they were crucified. What made him wait so long?
What did make him wait? That's a good question.
Yeah. So when they were
crucified. Did he not know what was coming?
No. When they were crucifying him, Jesus, he was like, that wasn't the line for him. But when they were trying to make him, maybe this guy hates Jesus, right?
He does.
Because he didn't get on the stage when they were crucifying Jesus. He got on the stage when they were trying to kill him to save him from suffering. He was like, no, let that motherfucker suffer.
Maybe. Maybe he just cracked the whole thing.
Right. All right. All right, let's look at the comments on YouTube. Eric is saying, I don't know whether to laugh or be horrified. Beach is saying, I guess the guy hadn't read the story. Eric saying, again, he obviously doesn't realize Jesus is a Jew from the Middle East. Mike is saying, I think that the Roman soldier was checking if Jesus died already or not. No, he does have his spear with him. He was planning to kill him. But no, I mean, I think that Roman soldier, if none of the story is obviously, we don't know how much of the story is real or any of it is real. But but in the story, the Roman soldier comes off as a pretty decent guy, right? He's like, okay, this guy suffered enough. Let me end this right here. Beej.
If he was just checking to see if Jesus was alive, he could have stabbed his toe, right? He didn't have to stab him in the rib cage, which would have brought him instant relief if he were up there suffering.
Right. It does make change from blaming Jews, blaming the Roman soldier. No, I don't know. Beej is saying if. Oh, Eric is saying it's like weekend at Jesus. Why would Jesus be in a tomb? I don't know. Yeah. So any comments on Facebook?
We did get one comment where somebody said, and it's reloading now. They said, "Didn't Jesus die twice? Did he die one time or did he die twice?" And the answer is no. He died once. And then his whole body was lifted into heaven. So you can't really call that dying.
Right.
So he died once.
If the stories are true, okay. So Casey is saying people that were crucified were in mass graves. Maybe that's why his body was missing, because maybe they had a tomb for him, and then the Romans were like, no, fuck that. So they went and took his body away, and then the Christians and his Jesus followers came and were like, oh, where's his body? And then the whole Christianity religion was born. But yeah, the explanation could be just as simple as that. People are like, no, let's not make this guy have a shrine, right? We do that, but they do that these days with a lot of people. This is why they throw Bin Laden in the sea, right?
Yep.
They didn't want him to have a shrine where people go and visit and turn this into a rallying cry, right? So they might have done with Jesus's body exactly what they did with Bin Laden's body. Maybe there was the same logic. Maybe the Romans were like, yeah, let's not make this into a thing. Let's not make a cult out of this. But then it backfired, right? Because people were like, where's the body? Oh, it raised into heaven. And that's how they made a cult.
Yeah.
I'm just making up stuff, by the way.
But it sounds just as good as the stuff that was already made up.
Right, yeah. Yeah, why not? Prove me wrong.
Why not?
Christian. Prove me wrong, Christians. Isn't that what they tell us?
That's right.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the Mormon church story.
Yeah, this one is really, I hate to go from laughing to something so fucked up, but a Mormon church instructor admitted that he sexually abused kids as young as 2 years old. This asshole living in Texas, he was a primary instructor at a Mormon school, and he admitted that he molested children over the course of 7 years. So,
why did he admit this? Was he caught or something, or did he just come forward by himself? Let me see what the top comments are.
I don't know.
2 years old.
Yeah, 2 years old. Well, not about this guy. So he's 22 now. So over the course of the past 7 years, was he a primary instructor when he was a teenager? Like, why are they putting teens in charge? Okay, no, don't get me wrong. Like when I
the guy that has done this is 22.
Yeah, 22.
So the picture we're seeing, is that the guy, the instructor, Mormon church instructor? So,
that's the one. The guy who looks like he's in high school.
And he's been doing this from 7 years ago?
Yeah, he's been doing this for 7 years.
Wait, so he's been doing this since he was 15?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I'm asking is, why were they putting a 15-year-old in charge of children?
To be fair, I don't assume a 15, like if I hire a 15-year-old to be an instructor, my initial thought is not that, hey, he might be molesting a 2-year-old.
No,
right?
It's just that a 15-year-old, especially in the state of Texas, a 15-year-old can't really be held accountable for a lot of decisions that are made. There's not an age limit on when a child can be left home alone or when they can be left in charge of other children. But there is a rule in Texas that if you place a child who is under the age of 18 in charge of another child and something happens, parents can get charged with neglect. So how is this any different? How are you going to take a 15-year-old and be like, here, 15-year-old, take care of all these children? That to me is a bit neglectful. I used to teach vacation Bible school, and I never was alone with a child, not even once. It's inappropriate, in any capacity to do that, to leave a lot of children alone with a 15-year-old. It was no offense. I certainly took no offense, and I'm glad that things were that way because no one can accuse me of doing that. I was never alone with a child. And so I do think that taking a 15-year-old and leaving him in charge of children someone else also needs to be held accountable here for child neglect.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's just how I feel. I mean, that is fucked up. When 2-year-olds end up getting molested, it's that was a stupid choice. And I hope that...
Where did this happen? Inside the church?
Yeah, in the church.
God can't even protect his own churches, apparently.
Can he?
Yeah. A lot of times when shit like this happens in school, people say that this is because we stopped prayer in schools and stuff like that.
Well, what about this?
Yeah,
right?
Did we stop prayers in churches as well? God sure seems to want pedophiles in church. It's almost like it's all bullshit. I mean, do you think that, what if people say this has nothing to do with religion? This was a sick kid that shouldn't have been allowed to take care of children. The fact that it was done in a Mormon church has nothing to do with anything.
No, I'm sorry, but the church communities, in my personal experience, they welcome people who are sexual predators because there are a lot of empty rooms in a church. People typically trust blindly because that's what Christians are told to do in a church. And they put adults in charge of children. And adults can take these children anywhere, be alone with these children, do whatever they want with these children. And parents don't question because it's church and that's where God is and their children are going to be safe. So as a victim myself of that situation in a church, I've seen the issues churches have in general as far as their culture is concerned. The blind trust is ridiculous. And if you're a parent who thinks it's okay to blindly trust someone because they're religious, then you need to check your own logic, because this kind of atmosphere breeds a condition to attract more sexual molesters. It just does it.
Right.
And if you want to say that it has nothing to do with religion, you are wrong.
Right. Imagine if this was like an atheist event or something like that. This would be getting a lot more attention. Like atheists, people would be like, look what atheists are doing, right? I mean, I do think that, people do assume that church communities are usually filled with more moral people, and people, you're right. Like there's some sense of false sense of safety that people that go to church are more moral, and there's if somebody's church going, then you could trust them with your children and stuff like that. Which is but and another thing is that a lot of people think a lot of people from the I've been to a lot of churches because I was trying them out here in Vancouver, and a lot of them see these kinds of acts as just as bad as any other sin. You know what I mean? Like, the whole point of Christianity is that we're all sinners, right? We're all sinners.
Yeah.
And they put all sins in the same level. And then again, hashtag not all.
For sure, yeah.
But you have to always, people. Okay, can you just assume not all when we say these things? But but even if you're not one of those people that they're not all okay, you're misunderstanding Christianity, because the point of Christianity is that all sins will be forgiven by Jesus as long as you believe in Jesus, right? And the way that people present this is to us in Christian churches is that some people steal candy, some people rape children, tomatoes, we're all sinners. It's all going to be forgiven, right? I mean, it's all the same. Stealing candy and raping children, it's all on the same level. It's just sin, okay? We're all sinners. We're all corrupted. It will all get forgiven by Jesus as long as you come to Jesus and you accept him as your Lord and Savior, right? So this is not that big of a deal. This is as big as of stealing candy, right? Just for believing Jesus and you could be forgiven. No harm done. Oh, by the way, Pasty is saying death to pedophiles. They can't be cured. They will keep offending until they... Okay, no. First of all, there are many pedophiles that don't act on their urges, okay? There are many pedophiles out there that know what they have been hardwired to feel is not something that they can act on, that is illegal, that children cannot consent, right? And if I don't think but there's a difference between somebody that actually has these feelings and somebody that acts on it, right? Hello, Ali?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm actually thinking because I think I thoroughly disagree.
Okay. Okay, go on. What do you disagree with?
Yeah, I don't. I wouldn't take the risk. Do I want to say death to all? I mean, of course not. But am I going to welcome someone who has, those tendencies or those urges? Am I going to welcome him in my home with my children? Fuck no. Fuck no. And I don't care if he's a great person. I don't care if he tries to control his urges. I don't care, because all it takes is one fucking time, and he's ruined an entire life.
Right,
an entire life. And I think that children are too precious of a resource for us to be like, oh, but some people can't act on urges.
But that's not what I'm... Okay, first of all, that's a totally different debate. We could have a discussion about this. But what do you say to somebody who says death to all pedophiles?
Death to no one. We don't have to go around killing people.
No, but would you even consider them? Would you consider a person that hasn't acted on their urges that they're born with? They have never acted on it and plan never to act on it, and actually they're seeking help. That they're open about it and they say they have these urges, but they know it's wrong. I mean, you're born with a curse, right? You're born to be attracted to something that is you understand that is wrong to act on, right?
Right.
Do you think a person like that deserves to be hated?
Yes, I do. And I know that it's unfair, and I know I'm a hypocrite sitting here right now saying that. I get it. I get that what I'm saying is wrong. Someone reaching out for help and trying to be a better person, and I'm saying, yes, they still deserve to be hated. They absolutely still do. I'm sorry, children are too precious to me. And
but they haven't acted on it.
I don't care. They could. I don't care, because they could act on it. And if they do act on it, this isn't like one of those things where someone's a kleptomaniac, but they haven't acted on their urges to steal. They just, they're trying to help.
So,
that's different, because a kleptomaniac, they can steal something and it kind of stops.
No, let's say somebody has an urge to put stuff on fire, right? They have urges to go set homes on fire. Okay?
Yeah, fuck them too. To be honest with you, fuck them too.
Why
Because
fuck them?
Even if they're not doing it.
They have a mental disorder and they're not acting on it.
Yeah, well, still fuck them. I'm sorry, because life is too precious. Armin, this is our one life. And people who are out there who have urges to damage our life, I understand how they can be hated. Even if they don't.
But they didn't choose to have those urges. They didn't choose to have those urges.
I don't care. It sucks. I get that. I get that it sucks for them. But life is too precious. Every life is too precious. Their life is too precious.
But life is too precious. I don't understand how you get from life is too precious to they deserving to be hated, right?
I haven't sat here and said I'm not a hypocrite. Okay.
No. But the thing is, if life is precious, right? Then we need to encourage the ones that are coming forward. Right? So let's say, okay, let me use your argument, okay? Children's lives are too precious, okay? So because children's lives are so precious, I want to make sure that people that do have these urges feel less afraid of coming forward. Because if they're afraid of coming forward, there's going to be more of them that will not be getting the treatments and the encouragement they need to not act on it, right?
Okay.
And because they're hated and demonized, they're not going to come forward. I want them to feel like they can come forward. I want them to feel like they could come forward and seek help.
I agree. Okay, I want everyone to feel like they can come forward and seek help. However, I don't think that those people can also be expected in the same notion to be invited over to children's birthday parties.
No, I'm not even moving to there. I'm not even talking about that. I'm not saying invite them to your children's birthday party, okay?
A lot of people come out in something where they know they're going to be hated and they do it anyway, okay? I live in a
they should come out because they need support. These people are born with a curse. And if they're smart enough to know that they shouldn't be acting on it, and if they're brave enough in a world that will demonize them to come forward and ask for help and say, hey, I have this problem, please help me, I know this is wrong. I think these people deserved our sympathy, and also congratulate them to that they didn't act on it, and also they coming out and say like, hey, please help me, I have this problem, right? They need to be congratulated.
I'm never, ever going to thank a pedophile for not acting on their urges, ever. No, but I'm sorry. But, no, and I do agree. I do agree these people should come out. These people should have the guts it takes to come out and say, yes, I'm a pedophile, and I need help. And we absolutely should give them the help they need. And at the same time, if someone decides to dislike them and not want to be in their life, I think that's 100% valid. If someone dislikes me and doesn't want to be in my life for one reason or another, 100% valid. That's fine. Everyone should have their own opinion. But I certainly will never, ever thank or say, wow, how brave of you for a pedophile stepping forward. Because when they commit the act that they commit, they are murdering someone's happiness. They are fucking up someone else's life, and they are ruining their own life because they can go to jail for acting on their urges. So fuck yeah, they need to be coming out. Fuck yeah, they need to be getting help. And absolutely, they need to be saying, I'm not going to act on my urges, and they better stick to that. And that is their responsibility. I understand it.
All right, but
fibromyalgia.
I know, but if people are openly saying they should be all burned alive or put to death, then why would they come out and say I need help?
You know, but people say that about a lot of other things, and I don't.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is that needs to stop. I'm saying that needs to stop so that for the sake of the children. If we think that this life is so precious, and children's lives are too valuable to risk, for the sake of the children, these people should stop being demonized. If you value the lives of the children, then try to see beyond your emotions, like try to control your emotions, your hatred towards them, so that we don't discourage people so more of them get encouraged to move forward, so that we
But here's the deal is you keep calling it courage, and you keep saying if these people act on their urges, they are wasting their own lives and throwing it in jail. Okay, they're taking their life and saying, "You're in jail."
Whatever you think of these people, do you agree that more of them will come forward if we don't constantly say that they deserve to die and they deserve to be burned alive, or that they're scum of the earth? And if we instead say, we understand that this is not your fault, we understand that you're born like this, we can help, come forward, we're not going to demonize you, we're not going to attack you. Don't you think if we have that attitude, more of them would come forward and we could save more children if we have that attitude?
I don't.
Oh. Okay.
I just, and that right there is probably boiled down to, unless somebody can please, if you know of any new research on, I know that right now we're actively trying to get research in the psychology communities on pedophiles. If there's been more research out there, please let us know on this topic. I would love to know that if there were any sort of statistics on people coming forward more recently than not. That would be excellent news. But I don't. I think that no matter what we say about pedophiles, they're going to do what they're going to do.
No, most of them. A lot of them don't. A lot of them don't. Okay.
You think a lot of pedophiles don't molest children or don't act on their urges?
Yes, a lot of them don't. A lot of them know. And there's different reasons why some of them because they know that this is wrong, and it's gonna fuck up the lives, the children's lives. It's gonna mentally.
So you think that really is a deterrent for something that they're naturally born driven and compelled to do?
Because some of them are because a lot of them are are humanists, right?
But most people also understand.
No, some of them realize that this is an urge they have, and they understand that they're not going to act on it because they don't want to harm people. Okay, and some other ones, okay, might not do it because it's illegal and they don't want to get in trouble. Okay, I have this urge, but my urge for doing something like this is less than my urge for staying out of prison. Okay, so they're not going to ever act on it. Okay. And some of them act on it, but I think the ones that do act on it, if we if we point out that there's a lot of them that don't act on it, and that the ones that don't act on it shouldn't be demonized because they haven't done anything wrong. They haven't done anything wrong, okay? That's why we don't demonize them, because they haven't done anything wrong. Then the ones that are most of them actually will never say that they feel like this, right? More of them will openly say that they feel like this. And when more of them openly say, there can be something done about it. By the way, screaming, the person with this scream it, username is asking you this. So she knows she's a hypocrite, not an hypocrite, a hypocrite, but doesn't want to correct herself. That sounds like religious extremist. Aha, what do you say to that?
Okay, so one, I am someone who's sitting here having a conversation about it and trying to learn a different point of view.
Right.
Okay. And so far, and that is not something a lot of religious extremists will do. One, two, I've also admitted that there's a flaw in my logic. So I understand that what I am sitting here saying might not come across correctly because it's not correct thinking to begin with. I've already admitted that. So tell me now how I sound like a religious extremist. Show me one religious extremist that comes forward and says, yeah, my logic is flawed. Let's talk about this, and let's see if somebody can point me in the right direction with evidence.
All right. Do you want to have a debate about this on Atheist Republic discussions one time?
Maybe we should.
Okay. All right, let's do that. Okay. So look, if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe so you can see that coming. But I'll debate you on this, okay? Let's go to the next one. Supreme Court won't hear Christian. Okay, what is this?
Okay, so this one is, there was a church that was erected in, is it Dewey Hill? No, Grand Haven, Michigan. And an atheist group came forward and said, look, this was government-backed. That's unconstitutional. This cross absolutely has to be removed. Well, they won their case. Right? And Christians got really upset, and they tried to fight back. So they filed a new lawsuit asking the court to reverse the city council's decision to remove the cross. And it was dismissed because the organization was only created to file that lawsuit. It wasn't like a real organization, and every single member was anonymous. So then they filed again with everybody coming forward with their real names. And they said that this was a violation of their free speech rights. And the State Court of Appeals actually told them that they would not get to fight this case in court because what was already agreed to remove the cross was the constitutional thing to do. So,
That's great.
I think that, again, atheists are out there. We are having we're fighting little battles that a lot of people, like we said at the beginning of the show, think that they're just little battles and we need to stop doing it because it makes us look bad. But when there is a violation of the separation of church and state, we need to get these cases everywhere we can before the problem just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So
Right.
I job on this.
Yeah, to people that say, "Oh, let them have their cross in a public place. What's the big deal?" You don't. This is what they say. This is the wall we have between them, and then getting involved into every fucking other thing, right? This is the win that if they get, opens the gate to everything else, every fucking other thing. Once they get into government, do you think that they're gonna say once they have their foot in public spaces in government, once they can influence government, do you really think that they're going to be, they already influence government, but once they have a cross in public places and they get to be like, yes, Christianity does have its place in places where it's taxpayer funded and it's supposed to be for the public, do you think they're going to be like, yeah, we got our crosses and that's enough, right?
Yeah.
No, they're not. If you give them the license to be able to mix religion with everything they want, then they have that license and they're going to be able to do whatever the fuck they want. This is not something that we should give them, and I'm happy that we didn't here. Don't no you if you don't. These Christians that want to cross in a public space and they think there's a war on Christianity because they don't get their giant cross. They will lose their shit if we have an Islamic or a satanic monument in one of these places, right?
Oh, you know that they will, absolutely.
Yeah. Let me see what anybody on the. Yeah, FFRF has last 2 years 1430 so 1430 14 to 3 I think. Okay, so has they won 14 cases or they lost 14 cases? Yeah, actually Eric has a good point. I've never understood glorifying Jesus as murder weapon. I honestly think if Jesus ever comes back, he's going to be terrified. He's going to be like, why do we have crosses everywhere? He's going to be like, you guys,
back up, Jesus.
you're like, why you guys are celebrating this thing? You know they fucking tortured me on this, right? Like, why is this everywhere? License to kill. Yeah. Anyways, do you have any Facebook comments that we need to pay attention to?
Only still commenting about, did Jesus die one time or twice? He asked, so how come Catholics had Easter last week and Orthodox is this week? That's a calendar issue. That's not a story of Jesus issue. Right. Orthodox is a different calendar, so that explains why their years is different, their Christmas is different, and everything else.
Yeah, none of it matters anymore. Jesus, the whole date was picked from other stuff. Anyways, let's go to the Vatican Tribunal convicts Guam Archbishop. What did this guy do?
Woo! So, Anthony Apuron, he is the Archbishop in Guam. And I think this is like one of the first stories we covered in an episode. I don't know, I'll need to go back and look at it. But he's a 72-year-old Archbishop who's led the island of Guam since 1986. And he has had like countless sexual allegations thrown his way. Well, finally, he was seen by the Vatican
Archbishop.
Hold up here, the Vatican Congregation for the Doctrine of Faith, and they announced that they found him guilty. They removed him from office and exiled him from the island. So he has the ability to file an appeal, and he has filed an appeal. But I think this is fantastic news that the panel removed a lot of the allegations against him. They didn't specify which allegations they did remove. And they also didn't specify to the public which allegations they actually found him guilty of. But he is being removed from Guam where, like I said, countless people have stepped forward saying that he is sexually, he's raped. I mean, even his own nephew has come forward saying that he raped him. But yeah, so he's finally out of Guam. The Archbishop of, or maybe not Archbishop, sorry if I've got that ranking wrong, but a priest in Detroit, the bishop, former auxiliary bishop of Detroit, is primed to replace him. That's interesting.
Wait, so what does that mean? Does he go to prison or does he just get...
No.
Okay, so this is not really a celebration. Like, oh, Vatican finally convicted a child rapist, right?
Well, I mean, yes, and well.
What did he do?
We can't even call him a child rapist
yet
because the Vatican won't tell us what they found him guilty of.
All right.
The only thing that I'm hearing is that he's removed, and
so once after forever. Once they actually manage to find someone guilty, which a lot of people, they hide instead of find guilty. But even when they do find somebody guilty, what happens is what? They get removed? And no prison or anything?
No. And they have the right to hold their own hearings and punishments outside of the law.
Holy fuck.
So, yeah. It's unfortunate. I mean, this is why, we're pushing harder for priests to actually see real justice. And this is why a lot of people are becoming angry. The Vatican, the fact the Vatican found him guilty of something is actually surprising to me. Because then here they're admitting something is up. And the fact that they won't tell us what it is they found him guilty of, I find very alarming. I think that they're trying to hush their own issues yet again. It's really, I don't know, it's frustrating.
So Colin found something from the article and is quoting it in the on Facebook comment section. Is saying, in the past, when an elderly priest was convicted by the Vatican of sexual abuse, they were often removed from ministry and sentenced to a lifetime of penance and prayer. But several high-ranking members of the Vatican clergy have long lobbied for more lenient sentences. Holy fuck. So basically there are people in Vaticans, they're saying, yeah, we know we actually managed to prove these people that are sexually abusing children. Even in those cases, there were more lenient sentences. That's what they are asking for. What the hell's wrong with these people? They don't.
I know.
At least do something for your own PR problem, motherfuckers. So they want. And Colin is commenting and saying, so they want no punishment for the worst imaginable crimes. Well, they're not the worst imaginable crimes, but yeah, they're very bad crimes. No wonder it's a haven for child molesters. Yeah, true that. Says it all. Says it all. Yep. Lifetime of prayer. And even before, when it wasn't as lenient, Brad is pointing out that doesn't seem that bad. Lifetime of prayer, isn't that what they already do?
Yeah, but now they just have to do it alone without children.
Maybe it's kind of like when God punished the snake in the Bible in Garden of Eden for crawling on its belly. Yeah, I'm a snake. That's why I already do. That's what makes me a snake, God.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways, let's see the comments. You wanted to say something? I interrupted you. Sorry.
No. I was. I think I called that pretty sick, and that was it.
Mark is saying on YouTube, another case of move a pedophile somewhere else so they can do their crimes again. B just saying it's not mentioned in the Bible, so it's not even a sin, let alone a crime. Good point, B. Saura, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but you have a very cool name, even though I can't pronounce it. Permitting them to function outside the law. Do they even have a constitution? Yeah, I mean, this is pretty fucked up, right? I mean, they have their own laws. They don't report shit to the police. Like, wouldn't they need to be reporting this to the police? Have they reported this to the police? And how do they get away with not reporting this shit to the police? And why doesn't the police come and say, like, okay, no, fuck that. Show us your files, and this guy is going to prison. Where is this guy living right now? In Peru?
That's a good question. All they said was that they exiled him from Guam, so now I don't know where he's living.
Oh wait, Guam. Why did I say Peru?
Yeah, he's been exiled off of the island. I'm trying to see where he is going to end up.
But why isn't the police getting involved? Like, why are they not, like, wherever this guy is, the police are not coming and saying, because he's not in Vatican, is he? Wherever the fuck he is, right?
But aren't all archbishops protected by the Vatican? I don't know.
Who cares if they're protected? The police in that country shouldn't be recognizing that they're protected.
I think that anyone should. I agree with you.
That's kind of like if you come
in America, we have laws excluding priests from having to
tell
the police.
You do?
That somebody admitted to murder.
You do? For priests?
Yep, absolutely. A priest does not have to tell. If you confide in a
but if a priest murders somebody, right? Does the Catholic Church can come in and be like, yeah, no, forget your U.S. laws.
No,
they're under our laws. No, they're not. So how come they can do that with raping children if they can't get to do that with murdering somebody? Like the Vatican can say, like, no, your laws don't apply because they come from the fucking Vatican. Like, what the hell does that mean? The police should get involved. The police. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Why is it? Where is this guy? And why is the police not coming and be like, your laws don't apply here. This is the laws of the land apply to everyone equally here. And this guy is getting arrested or deported to the country where he did this. Into God life. Yeah, Beach is pointing that out that I suspect if someone has a sexual depravities, they might think throwing themselves into a god life will control their urges, but it doesn't. Not only it doesn't, it gives you a license to do it. The license and $1 billion organization, multi-billion-dollar organization to give you legal protection. Yeah, actually, it's perfect. It's perfect for you, right? So here's the thing: if you're planning on raping children, what better way to do it other than becoming a priest, right? The 3 things happen. First of all, it's a sin. Who cares? It gets forgiven. And Beach pointed out it might not even be a sin. Second of all, it gets hidden and protected, and you get moved around when needed, and you don't even have to pay for all that. And then you get your own legal team for free. It's a fantastic system, but you have to be a high rank member, I think, to get all that. So you have to try hard. If you have to be a good, I don't know. Eric, the Vatican is very powerful. They have been hiding this behavior for centuries. Yes, but even when they actually admit that shit has happened, nothing happens. They don't go to jail. They just move you around, and you get to live your life the way you want. Mark, what is that background? At least I'm hearing a lot of background noise. What is that?
Oh, sorry, I'm texting because I'm late for.
Oh, okay. All right, let's end this right here. Okay. You should tell me to end this. You should tell me. Okay, Mark, stop arguing. Common sense. Casey Atheist saying, Armin, Allie, good show. Beach. Okay, good night. Yes, good night, everybody. Allie has to go late for an event. Allie, you should have told me to rush it. You feel free to tell me.
Yeah.
All right.
Everybody.
Thank you, everybody. All right, let me stop the streaming. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Beach. Thank you, Darf, Mark, and everybody else. And Scream It, also. Thank you, but Eric, stop streaming. Bye, everyone.